Welcome to Wild, Women in Lending Determined to Make an Impact. I'm your host, Robyn LaVassaur. They say our biggest fear isn't being inadequate. It's being powerful beyond measure. In this podcast, I will share how to break through imaginary ceilings, lean into success, discovering your purpose, and understanding how to create the business and life of your dreams. From failures to triumphs and all the tactics in between, let's jump into the wild arena together. Welcome back to Wild with Robyn LaVassaur. I want to talk today about something that we don't say frequently enough, and that is that loans actually suck. I will tell you, I made a massive mistake in my business for years and years, setting the tone that everything was going to be great. And that tone in itself led me to wanting everything to be great. From the moment that the client called, to how they had to turn in their documents, to the way that it felt when you were going to pull their credit. Gosh, the fun of, you think about it, Chip and Joanna Gaines, right? They go out and, well, if you watch that at all on Fixer Upper or whatever it was called, they would go out, look at a few different houses with home buyers, and they'd have pancakes on a Saturday morning and make a phone call and say, which house did you choose? As if that is actually how they buy a house. No, the truth is sometimes in the 11th hour, there is a house that pops on the market, and it is a matter of making an offer on the weekend that you're supposed to be out of town, but that feels like the perfect house for you. And you lose out on that one, feel very disappointed, and then go see 3 or 4 more that don't even remotely fit your needs, and you feel frustrated. That's the actual reality of being a home buyer. I could go into a whole nother dissertation on being a home seller and being a loan applicant. I don't know about you guys. Have you ever enjoyed applying for a home loan? If you've never done it before, have you enjoyed applying for a credit card or a auto loan? Now, the truth is, whenever I've done it, there's a little piece of me where my heart is racing, where I'm like, I'm giving all of this personal information to somebody. I wonder what the underwriter's going to say. And it feels very personal, but impersonal, if you will. So I always tell applicants, loans actually suck. And you, my friend, are going to hate this. You're going to hate everything about it. Looking at houses is fun, as long as it's the exact one you want. You make an offer and it's accepted. The inspections come back really clean and easy. The process is so simple for you to understand, and you get keys right on time with very little effort. And guess how often that happens in lending? Probably less than 0.02% of the time, which is essentially never. What a difference it makes when you actually have conversations with people that are real, but then let them know what you're going to do to make it better. Why you are necessary during the suck to make it suck a little bit less. And if that's your only job, all of a sudden you're not losing sleep at night and stressed out and worried and trying to make sure that things are perfect in what is actually a very imperfect and hard process. So how do you do that? How do you do that and win the client over? Because I think that mentally, we really believe that if we don't tell somebody how great everything is, that they might not choose us, that they might believe that they can get it better elsewhere. No different than watching a Disney movie and seeing the fairy tale of meeting your Prince Charming and how wonderful that all looks. And then later getting married and realizing that, hey, there's actually some hard parts to this, and it would have been nice to have known, right? Having the baby, but not realizing that the labor is hard, or enjoying the heck out of the puppy until nobody shows the video of you stepping in pee at 3 a.m. as you go to take your dog out, and that new puppy has pooped all over everything and maybe chewed up your favorite shoes, because those are the realities. And so how do we actually tell people that things suck, that they're hard? One, I would tell you a very big conversation for you to have actually with your referral partners in general is that you are going to tell people that. And I promise you, there is such a great advantage competitively when you have these conversations with your referral partners and they realize, wow, that's different. That's different than what I generally hear. Are you telling me that you help me and you and escrow and all parties involved prep the client for reasonable expectations? And I'm thinking, man, I do a one better than that. I actually set the bar low so that I have no chance of missing. In fact, I will do an incredible job of exceeding what that bar is. And for years, people would say it was good, not great, right? Here's my survey back. It would have been nice if communication was a little clearer. It would have been nice if there was less documentation needed, if I had to talk to less people. And all of these complaints weighed on me, and I kept trying to fix all the problems that people saw. And one day I just realized, man, if I communicate better, if I actually just set really realistic expectations, those complaints literally shifted to the team was incredible. I talked to multiple people who were helpful. Oh, because their expectation was they were going to have to. I got asked for a lot of documents, which obviously didn't enjoy, but the team was amazing in how they took care of me and added some fun parts to an unfun process. That I can do. And so if you are setting expectations right now in the world of lending, that say things like, we're better than anybody else, and we're gonna, we're perfect in our communication, and the documents will be as minimal as possible, and I'm going to push button, get mortgage, and make it easy for you. I can tell you, you are setting probably 99.9% of clients up for false expectations that will come with a stress level to the client and you, because those expectations are so off that there is zero way to meet them. But if you were to pause and say, you know what, let's have some fun with this. Loans suck. Going through the process, not fun. Stress level, definitely up. My job is to keep it at waist level or below. So if you start to get above waist level in your stress level while you're making the single largest purchase potentially of your life, I need you to call me anytime you're waist level or above. I tell all my clients, my team's going to take care of you. Processing's going to take care of you. Everyone's going to do an amazing job. But if your stress level is higher than the waist, you got to give me a phone call. If you, at the end of this, said this wasn't a 5-star survey in how we took care of you, not the actual process, I want you to call me in advance of that so that we can fix it in time to still earn a 5-star survey. When I gave my cell phone number out for those things, I almost never got the phone calls because I set such an incredible tone with the clients of what they were going to expect. Oh, you mean they called you a third time for a pay stub? Well, it turns out your other 2 pay stubs you had given us have expired. You have a new employer. We needed an update showing that garnishment was gone, or the collection was updated, or your raise was reflected. And you're not freaked out that we asked for 3 separate pay stubs. You were anticipating it because I told you that we were going to ask for documents, sometimes seemingly on repeat, but often not, at least 6 times during the transaction. Now, the truth is, we generally only ask for 3 times. So by the 3rd time, are they panicking or are they comfortable? They're still comfortable. It would be at the 5th or 6th time that they would panic, but we almost never, ever, ever needed documents 6 times. We would tell you within a matter of hours if your documents were going to be sufficient or if we needed more time to determine that. That helped the client understand that not every document they turned in automatically met the condition. Now you would think to yourself, gosh, does this mean that I have to spend 3 hours with the client explaining how awful a transaction is? No, you absolutely do not. What you do need to do is have a professional loan presentation, both at the pre-approval process, right, the lead process, and again at disclosure process when they're actually in contract for a house or doing the actual refinance and locked in, with expectations setting from there. And you need to be able to bob and weave some stories into that have them relating and, if you can, smiling and laughing, but ready for what comes next. And when you do that with a beautiful handoff to your team, with helping lower the bar for the other entities involved in the transaction, let's talk appraiser, home inspector, both agents on both sides, the seller, escrow, when you can help lower the bar of expectations of all of those parties as well, clients actually are, as we all are, so programmable that they will see the transaction as so much smoother than it actually ever was going to be because of that lower the bar. So if you're struggling with your stress level, you're losing sleep at night, you feel like you are a one-hit wonder, meaning everything's got to be perfect with communication and execution prior to even getting that lead in the door, that you are tap dancing and putting on a show the entire time for the agents and all parties, and you're trying to be as fast and as perfect and effective as you can possibly be, I promise you your mortgage career will be short-lived because your stress level and your feeling of failure will be constant. But if you can get real about the real situation, but get incredibly good and valuable in something that is meant to be hard and big and a little bit stressful, you will win and people will flock to you because of simply the tone that you set from day one and the ability to over-deliver on the minimal promises that you were able to make. I hope this was helpful. We'll see you on the next while.